Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's Ricky Cadan back again with another free real life stock review for Real Life Trading Australia. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It is Hump Day Wednesday. Let's dive in and take a look at what's going on in the markets, everybody. So the SPY, the broader markets, the S&P 500. We have been crushing higher every single day. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Retest gap after retest gap. We just keep on retesting and grinding on high. If you take a look at the shorter term moving averages, guys, we simply have just been trading down to the 10, trading a little bit higher, consolidating sideways, and then, slowly bouncing on up, moseying on up, back up to around 350, I believe. At this point, guys, I'm not entirely overly optimistically bullish on the markets right now. I do get that the trend is bullish, but for the most part, I am being very cautious up here, just simply because we haven't had a decent pullback since June, which was 1, 2, 3, almost very close to 3 months ago. Very close to 3 months ago. So I do believe that at some point we will have a pullback in the markets. Now, I don't think the market is going to collapse. I do not think it's going to completely fall off a cliff. I do believe we will have about a 8 to 10% pullback, which would look something like this. 8% would bring us back to around here. If you look at the long-term moving averages, I mean, if we come any higher, if we come up to around 350 and some change, and we have somewhere between an 8 to 10% pullback, guys, that's pretty much just coming back down to a previous level of resistance. So it makes a lot of sense to have that pullback and that bounce. And if you take a look at the shorter term moving averages, it would be roughly around the 50-day EMA on the daily chart. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't be overly optimistically bullish up here, but for the most part, just stay long on the markets until you get a signal. Otherwise, the E-minis not looking a whole greatly bullish right now. So we are looking fairly flat. Actually, we are exactly flat. Right at this very moment, we are flat as of yesterday's close. For the most part, guys, I do believe we will have a small pullback. It is very imminent, and let's look to buy the dip when it does occur. Here's MU. Now, MU, this is our weekly options newsletter, by the way. Now, MU, sensational retest gap. Retest gap last night. It was a very nice gap up. I didn't personally play this or day trade this bullish. However, I am still waiting for a retest to get filled on a dip for Micron Technology. So it makes a lot of sense to kind of bounce around here. If you take a look at the weekly chart and the longer term moving averages, that would be roughly the 200 simple, roughly between the 200 simple moving average and the 100 simple moving average. And I mean, this has been a general area that we do start to bounce, and this is a phenomenal one white soldier candle right now as we speak. The week is not over though, so we could have a small pullback. Maybe we get triggered, maybe we don't. If not, that's totally okay. I'm totally okay with both of those happening. But MU, look to take a bullish, really nice dip buying opportunity on MU. Here's ticker symbol WKHS, good old workhorse. Now this was a trade that I actually did take bullish last night for a day trade. It was a very short term trade. Being very late in the evening, I did only stay in this trade for just a few minutes, but it was a very nice play. We had this really, really nice breakout. On the 1 minute, you can see we had this really nice breakout above this particular pattern, and then we had a short-term retest, and then I just took a nice little stop limit order above here, stop down here, and target hit in 3 minutes. So it was a really, really nice play, really, really short and sweet. Obviously, if I held for longer, it would have been even more phenomenal, but I'm not going to stay up all night and play this particular trade. I do like to have my sleep. But Workhorse, really, really great. This company in particular doesn't really have that great fundamentals, so I don't know what is actually pushing this up higher. So keep that in mind, guys. It's not extreme. I don't know the full news behind this, but on the short term, I mean, the technicals look really, really great if you are looking to day trade Workhorse. I'm not personally looking to own Workhorse long term. Here's the ASX 200. So we are still battling this 200, guys. So we can't seem to get a strong close above the 200. You can see we have had a bearish day the previous day being yesterday. We did get a previous bearish day, and it wasn't a strong close. We had very weak volume, and for the most part, it was a retest gap, and we just faded the whole gap basically in the last 2 days. So we did get a sensational bullish hammer candle. Oh, sorry, it's a bearish hammer candle, but a beautiful hammer candle at the very least. But still waiting for this break above the 200. I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I do think that when we do have this short-term pullback in the markets, we may get a pullback maybe down to this support level, maybe around the 100 simple, consolidate a little bit higher, and then maybe we get some higher highs in October, November. We'll wait and see how it kind of transpires in the markets, but that's just my overall thoughts on the ASX 200. Here's APT. Now, reporting earnings tomorrow is going to be very, very exciting stock for a lot of real-life traders. Shout outs to you, Helen. I hope it does gap up for you. But APT, really cute little gap down, inside day, bearish candle. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We did get a retest gap just yesterday. I do expect this to retest. The shorter term moving averages, we have been just bouncing off the 20 so gracefully. And if we do get a gap down, I do think it is going to be a dip buying opportunity for Afterpay. Believe it or not, I do think they will continue to rise higher. In the long term, I'm just not personally buying at the all-time highs here on APT. So keep your eyes peeled on APT for a gap up or gap down tomorrow. It'd be very, very exciting to see how that kind of plays out. Here's CBA, one we haven't spoken about in just a while. If you take a look at the long-term moving averages, guys, we're just chilling at the 200. Not a lot to see here. I did mention we would most likely trade between the 100 and 200 simple moving average back here in June. I said for about 3 months, most likely we will trade between the 100 and the 200. We did break higher. It was a very false break, and we kind of are just continuing sideways, and we are once again between the 100 and the 200 simple moving average 2.5 months later. So I do think that at some point we will bounce and we will rise higher. If you take a look at the weekly chart, the weekly chart, we are right at the 100, just kissing our nose on the 100 simple moving average on the weekly. So pretty sensational chart, guys. Beautiful bounce on the monthly. Long term, CBA will go higher. Very, very bullish. But yeah, just keep an eye on these wicks that are coming in on the weekly chart, guys. There is a lot of selling pressure on CBA as we speak. Now, crude oil is actually breaking a little bit higher. We did get a really nice close above the 200 simple moving average. Sensational hammer candles. We spoke about this in the trading room. And right now, we are trading very, very side. It is like watching paint dry on crude. But very, very nice to be closing above the 200 simple moving average. I'm not personally trading futures on crude yet. But I will definitely in the future once we start to get a little bit more volatility. Now here's gold. Gold just retesting the all-time high from 2011. We did get a phenomenal pullback. It was definitely expected. If you're looking at the shorter term moving averages, guys, we're still not closing below the 50 strongly. So I do expect us to just kind of consolidate here. Wait for the bounce. Wait for the volume to start to pick up. Wait for that bullish candle to kind of give you that signal like, yep, let's do this again. Let's ride this baby high. I do think gold will uptrend and continue to uptrend for a little while. We'll wait and see how it goes, but definitely be long on gold. And last but not least, the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, guys, I have been mentioning in the trading room that we most likely will come back down to the 50 at some point. Now, I don't think that this will happen, although it could. We could just potentially trade sideways until the 50 moving average kind of catches up. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Both would make complete sense to me. But what you do want to look out for, guys, is wonder why we are trading sideways at the daily, at these daily levels right here. Because the long-term moving averages look fairly bullish. Short-term moving averages look fairly bullish. But if you take a look at the weekly chart, guys, we're smack bang at the 200 simple moving average on a weekly chart. So kind of watch and see what goes on here, guys. The Aussie dollar, I mean, I am bullish on the Aussie dollar. This is going to be, I have always said that the 73 cent level is going to be a tough cookie to break. So just keep that in mind, guys. Obviously, if we do get a strong close, keep an eye on the weekly chart. You do want a strong close on the weekly for this to continue. And you can see this pretty much the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks have been fairly dismal in terms of strong closes. So if we can get a strong close with volume above the 200 simple moving average on a weekly chart, I do think we will continue to either trade sideways or at least above the 200 simple, maybe between 73 and 80 cents in the shorter term, the next 12 months or so. All right, guys, that's it for your real life stock review for Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday with another free real life stock review. If there's any tickers you would like me to review, any pairs, futures, commodities, whatever it is, you name it, put it in the comment section below. If you haven't yet joined our Facebook group, I'll leave a link in the description below. But sign up, be a part of our community. And until next time, guys, love life, live life, and trade it. You rock. Bye.